What is up, guys? It is time for the RCP at the movies. We are reviewing Spider-Man: Far From Home, which, ironically enough, apparently was filmed 20 minutes away from Tom Holland's parents' house, which is funny. So that's how that works. With me today, as always, when it comes to comic, all things geeky, I have Dragon the Dan Lees. So that works. Dude, I said Dan. God damn it!
You want me to try that one again? I'll let you run it back. I'll let you run that back. Why don't you take another crack at that?
Oh god, that's embarrassing. Okay, hold on. Let's see if I can get this again. All right, and so, by the way, that's funny. Not even a minute into this, and I flubbed the first thing. So let's start this again.
I have 3 names that you have to say. You got 2 of them wrong, and in the wrong order.
Well, I didn't technically get the 2 of them wrong. I just got the first one. I got the first one was the nickname, but I got the Dan. Well, the Dan could technically be your nickname. That could be funny.
That's true. And you know what? If you mess up like that, I was ready to roll with it. I was like, you know what? I didn't realize it. I must have a problem on my license. I gotta go get that checked out.
All right, so
I wrote my wrong name.
All right, so in all seriousness, we're basically, this is basically an outtake. So I'm just gonna cut it from like here, and I'll count down. So I'm gonna clap real quick. 5, 4, 3, 2. What's up, guys? We are here once again for RCP at the movies, which is our review of anything I have seen or anything we have seen so far. The we in this case is one Dave the Dragon Lees. I have with me for all things geeky. You guys know this. So Dave, how are we doing today? I was about to say Dan again. Son of a bitch. Roll with it. Just go. Dan.
I'm doing
Dave,
good.
damn it.
I'm ready. Oh my god, man.
Are you Dan? Are you Dave? Are you Mysterio? Who the f are you? I don't know you.
Whoa.
Spoilers. So anyway, speaking of speaking of spoilers, this will be, anytime it's at the movies, it will be a spoiler review. Granted, this movie has been out for at least a week or two, so by the time this comes out, so spoilers ahead. So just brace yourselves. I don't want to hear in the comments, you didn't tell us about this spoilers. Shut up. I did. This will be the second time I'm telling you, spoilers ahead. Give me 5 seconds to click off. 5, 4, 3, 1, done. Okay, so
Can I click off?
No, not you. I need you on this review. You saw the movie. What do you need to click off for? Anyway, let's get to the review.
I don't know. What if I want to see it again, not spoiled?
But you already saw it the first. Just stop. I am stopping this conversation. It's going to go nowhere. So let's talk about the movie. Let's start off with not how we would rank it in the MCU, but out of, let's say, typical 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10, not just for the MCU, but for like a Spider movie as well, because it's both at this point. Do you want to start, or do you want me to start?
I can start, and if you want, before I give my score, I'll just give some basic basic feelings about it and stuff.
Because it was like
we'll get into the conversation.
Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the score and then why we gave it that score. That makes sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we'll do that.
Okay. As a Spider-Man movie, I'd go like 8. Mm-hmm. As just a movie, probably a 7. And you know what? Yeah, probably. But as an MCU movie, probably like a 9. So I'm pretty positive on it overall.
Okay, so from general to MCU, you got a good range of 7 through 9. That's not bad.
Now, we get into other specifics as to why it was almost a lot lower, but
yeah. I mean, as long as you didn't go 6, because 6 is afraid of 7. You know why, right?
7, 8, 9.
Exactly. See, he knows. Anyway, so for me, I was thoroughly floored by this movie. I loved it. Had me on the edge of my seat a couple of times. So I would give it a solid 8.5 as an MCU film. a solid 9 as a Spider-Man film. As a general movie, I'll go with your assessment with 7. That sounds fair. Now, as to why, we can start talking about. So what made you give it that rating from your point of view? We can go from there and like just talk.
So I'll just go with the 7 and stuff as like my real ranking and stuff without all the extra stuff. Because I was a person who, when Tom Holland was cast as Spider-Man.
Sorry. I said you're a person. I was like, I hope so. Sorry.
When Tom Holland was cast as Spider-Man, I looked at my driver's license and I said, I'm too old to be Spider-Man. It's official. Can't do it anymore.
Oh, man. Right.
So for that reason, the first time I watched Homecoming,
there you go.
I saw it with my fiance, and I was like, probably my least favorite Spider-Man movie. You know what? Hated it. Hated every second of it. And you know what? Years later, I came back, and I was like, you know what? I feel like I was wrong, and I brought in a lot of terrible baggage.
I was about to say, you were mad because it couldn't be you anymore, weren't you?
A lot of baggage. And you know what? Now I'm like, that's maybe my second or third favorite. Now Homecoming is probably like my second or third favorite MCU movie, and it's amazing. I love it so much. And this movie, for the most part, just reminded me why I love Tom Holland so much. He's just so fun. Yeah. He's just so much fun as Spider-Man. And I feel like he's really, even in Homecoming, I was like, he's a great Peter Parker. Not crazy about him as Spider-Man, but he's pretty good.
Yeah.
But this one, I'm like, oh no, he's got it. He got this shit on lock.
Yeah.
He knows. He's great. And that's mainly the thing. I just loved seeing him. And Mysterio,
oh my god,
post the twist, I was like, I'm all for that.
Yeah. I mean, that twist was something, dude. I was like, what the? I mean, because here's the funny thing. You can go back and watch, whatever RCP episode it was. But when the first Spider-Man Far From Home trailer came out, I didn't want to see the trailer because I'd probably dissect the movie and know what it was like that. Oh no, my phone just dissolved. My phone went dusty. No. Sorry. But right? Come back. Okay, it's back. But that was the thing, because I was like, I knew Mysterio was gonna. I hate knowing things like we do, because I saw the first trailer. I'm like, he's lying. He's a bad guy. This is all fake. Whatever.
Yeah.
And aside from the post or the mid-credit scene and the post-credit scene, even though I called it, I was still on the edge of my seat, and I was like, if you can do that, fair enough. It's like, I think back to, like, The Dark Knight Rises, when they kept bringing up the child of Ra's al Ghul. I was like, oh, shit, Bane's the child of Ra's al Ghul, that's what they're doing with this? And then it turns out, no, Miranda Tate. I was like, oh, fuck, I forgot, he only had the chick. That's kind of stupid lore. So I was like, that was cool. So if you can make me do that, you've already got me at, like, where I got it. But how they handled Mysterio was just awesome. They made him already in the MCU without having him be in the MCU, which they've done a couple of times with, I think, 2 different people, which is always fun. But it's like the fact you saw him off stage when Tony Stark introduced Barf. He's like, Barf? Like, you turned my thing into Barf? No, he's like, no, screw you, dude. And then even in death, I am the hero. That is such a... Yeah, that's a Stark thing. But, yeah. But I love the realization from Mysterio. Not Mysterio, but from Peter, like, midway through. Because you think he's doing the right thing until he's not. And he thinks he's doing the right thing until he's not. But it's like... For the next Tony Stark. So he wants me to choose the next Tony Stark. I'm like, we're all like, no, he wants you to be the next Tony Stark as kind of, okay, whatever. But we were along for it, though, which was always fun. But we'll get to that in a bit, I guess. So, now that we've gone a bit soft on the spoilers. This is where we're going to get really spoiler heavy. So if you hadn't listened, if you're listening until this point, the fuck are you doing here? Leave. Spoilers. We're going to talk about the whole movie for a good, 10, 20 minutes. And then that's it. So, get out now. This is your last warning. Okay. So, my friend, what are some things that you liked about this movie? Like bullet points, and we can kind of go from there.
Can I? Okay. I just have a couple quotes for you.
Okay.
First. And these were my favorite things. I just want to throw those down.
Okay.
First, happens about midway through the movie.
Ooh.
And is a callback to an old movie. And it's Tony Stark built this in a cave
with a bunch of scraps. When that's funny because when my friend from work, Ricardo, who Boonzo's also been on the show, and I saw that's the only thing we quoted from that entire movie. I'm like, oh, that is funny. And then we start going back and going back through more Iron Man 1 lines. Like, really? I just solved the icing problem. What icing problem? Dunk. You might want to work on that. I'm like, dude.
Me and a buddy, since Iron Man 1 comes out, every time, like, neither one of us are handy people. So every time we're, like, putting together an IKEA thing or, like, even just trying to bake something up, and if you get frustrated, your buddy, me and my buddy will come over to each other and be like, Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box of scraps. And we'll just respond, I'm not Tony Stark. I'm not.
That is awesome. Awesome.
I'm not a person to text during movies. I didn't during this one either, but I grabbed from my phone and I'm like, I gotta just send him Tony Stark built this in the cave. Because when we do like rankings of we do rankings of like top 5 characters in the MCU, he always puts Guy Obadiah Stane yelled at in his top 5 or top 10.
But it's funny.
I don't know. I just love that guy.
Yeah. But it's even funny that he was a part of this thing. And it was just, when they went to go break it down a bit, it's like, okay, show me this without the effects. They're going flat. It's like, okay. And they're breaking down, like, what's going to happen. I'm like, this is what, things could do. Which is always cool. And I will say. Uh-huh.
I was going to say, I will say, I wish every one of the, like, people with Mysterio's crew was, like, secretly a part and, like, we had a little flashback too, but I understand that they can't do that.
Then the movie would be as long as Endgame just on that background alone.
Well, okay. Like the main four, like the chick who was dry cleaning the cape. Like she was getting coffee for sit when Thor showed up with to get his hammer back.
I don't know. Anyway,
I have one more line that I just loved.
I'll go for it.
And it is probably the funniest line in any Marvel movie ever.
Wait. Let me guess. Bitch, please. You've been to space.
That's a good one, but no.
Really?
My wife pretended to get blipped. It was real sad. We had a funeral and everything. Yeah, we ran off with the hiking instructor. I packed popcorn for the person to my right, who I did not know, and I just started dying in my lap. I was like, and then the guy leans over, and is like, "You okay, buddy?" And I looked up and I said, his wife ran off with his hiking instructor. It was a fake funeral. Well, the funeral was real, but she's alive.
Oh my gosh, dude. My gosh.
This movie had a couple of those moments for me where I interacted with either the person to my right or my fiance in like aggressive ways. And we'll get to another one, I'm sure, much later. But those, just while we're talking about stuff we love, like those two lines are just so amazing because Martin Starr, who plays their teacher.
Yeah.
He was my favorite part of Homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
Just like when I saw that they were going to Europe, I was like, if they don't bring their teacher, I'm gonna leave the theater. I'm not watching this movie without him.
Awesome. But now then they had both teachers. That was funny. It's like, okay, we got this. It's like, don't you bring me into this. This is your fault. But even before that, he's like, listen, dude, I'm going to be the cool teacher right now and say, don't do that. You shouldn't be doing that, dude.
No. He slayed me the whole movie. Walks in. Hey, just checking in. Do you guys need any, like, counseling and stuff? Because it was really emotional about today. I'm not really qualified to do that.
It's like, good. I'm not really qualified to do that. All right, bye. It's like... Fury's like, I swear, if one more person walks through that door, I will shoot them. I'm like, fair enough. They're trying to have this really serious moment. And it's like, hey, Peter, you in there? It's like, you can see him get more and more pissed, which is even funnier. He's like, okay, so as I was saying, we need to. Oh man. But yeah, so other than that part, here's the funny thing. I loved when they were like, okay, so we were gonna, go from Italy to like England or Paris, or no, they went from Paris. They were like, we're going to Paris, guys. It's like, we need you in Prague. I can't go to Prague. I'm on a trip. It's like, guess what, guys? We've been upgraded. We're going to Prague. Oh, great. I was like, okay, because I can see Nick Fury doing that too, which is even funnier. But man, that was just great. Oh man. But
what were some moments that you really? What were some things that you loved from the movie?
Oh man. Ned. Just Ned. Ned was like, dude, we're gonna be bachelors in Europe. Do you know what Europe women like? Americans. I'm like, I doubt that. But all right.
As a Canadian, I can tell you that's not true.
Oh, gee, thanks. Thanks for, sparing my feelings. You're a good friend.
I know.
But anyway, but it's like as soon as he gets off the thing with Betty, he goes, "Oh, but man, Peter, that was the dream of a boy. I'm a man now who's found love." I'm like, God damn it. I'm like, God damn it, Ned. Oh man. And it's like the worst part is we both know that couple too that would sit next to each other on the bus and text, I miss you more. Bitch, you're right next to each other. Shut up. Sad to say I was never a part of that couple.
I'm happy to report, nope, not a part of that couple.
Okay, good. If you were, I'd be like,
Me and my fiance text back, hate you too.
Oh my gosh! All right, that's good. It's good. It's very good. But I liked Ned's thing first. It's like, okay, it's like, Peter's breaking down his plan. It's like, okay, you know what? You figure out one other thing. You figure out one step on that plan. Oh, really? What do I do? He's about ready to whip, open up his book and write this other step down. He goes, throw out that entire plan. Like, I mean, he makes sense. I mean, he is trying to be realistic, but he's also got his ulterior motives. So I'm like, whatever. But, and then MJ walks over, Michelle Jones. I love that her initials are literally MJ, Michelle Jones, but it's still MJ. I'm like, that's awesome. So, but it's even funnier because it's like, sup nerds, what do you got? It's like, see, it's sup nerds or sup dorks. What do you do? And it's like, Ned, out's Peter. He goes, oh, we're talking about Peter's plan. What plan? You have a plan? What plan? It's like, he's going to collect spoons throughout our trip. He goes, MJ, without missing a beat, goes, what are you, a grandmother? He's like, nah, it's not really my plan. It's more Ned's plan. It's like, yeah, I'm going to be collecting spoons. She walks away. He looks back. She doesn't suspect a thing. I'm like, dude, what the f*** are you doing? But can I say, I hope this was for you too. I hated Brad. I wanted Brad to just get redusted. I just want him to get dusted. Is that bad?
Well, he never.
I know, but I was like, I wanted him to get dusted after like 5-10 minutes. I'm like, I hate this dude. I hate this dude. I hate this dude. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you hated Brad too. Good. Okay.
Yeah, I will say though that I was like, "Oh, this is an interesting thing," and as soon as Brad opened his mouth, I was like, "Oh no, I just hate this character. Why do we have this person? And why is this person not just Flash?"
Right.
Why are we doing this? Why are we adding Brad? Who's Brad?
Right. Oh man. But yeah, it's let's see, what else was there though. I mean, but that was just the tip of the iceberg, which is always funny. But it's like, what is it? Oh, when he uses Edith for the first time. Oh my god. He goes, "Is Brad the target?" Yes, Brad is the target. Okay, deploying drone. What? No. It's like, no. Goes up, webs the thing, destroys the drone, drops back down. It's like, there was no Billy. It's like, I was like, Peter, what the heck? See him fire. It's like, did you just punch Flash? No, I just, yes. Even Flash wakes up, it's like, ow. I'm like, there's that spider strength for you. Oh man, it's even fun. It's like, what? And but I love that one scene in the hotel. It's like, what is your deal with Spider-Man? It's like, I like him. He's a good dude. Looks out for the neighborhood. Wants me to be a better, me. Looks over at Peter. What's up, dickwad? I'm like, okay. Like, all right. That's funny. How about you? How'd you feel about Flash during this whole thing?
I stand by an opinion I've had since the first Spider-Man movie.
Okay.
Flash is maybe my least favorite MCU character.
Okay, so you meant Homecoming, not the first Spider-Man movie, meaning like Tobey Maguire. Okay.
Oh yeah, Homecoming. No.
Okay. There's like 13 of these things. You got to be careful.
Sorry. Yeah. What? That's Deathstroke in the first Spider-Man movie.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's the best part. Friggin'
Crazy.
But that was the best part is that was his first acting gig too, which is even better.
Oh, was it really? That's cool.
It was, yeah.
But
Anyway.
back to this Flash.
Yeah, back to this Flash.
I hate him. I hate Flash. I don't know why.
No, I get it.
Go ahead. Change my mind.
Sorry. It's like, I get it. He's the jerk we pretty much all knew in high school. Always made fun of you, but never made any sense. And everyone mocked him for it, which is fine. But he still hated you for no fucking reason. But I like what they did with him, though. Because it was like, oh, yo, what's up, my Flash mob? Doing all these other live videos or whatever. Not that I am relating to that at all. Why not live? I'm not doing this for attention, I swear. I'm doing this because it's fun. But it's like, his parents aren't even around. It's like, the text we read from, that Peter read from, it's like, mother, father, haven't heard from you in a couple of days. How are you guys? He goes, mother and father, not mom or dad. I'm like, dude, that's rough. And then at the end of the movie, it's like, so I take it mother and father couldn't make it today? No. What was it? Master Thompson, no. I'm afraid not. It's like, oh, okay. He's so deflated. So it's like, and even that vault scene, it's like, how do they make these things for people who like me? I'm like, dude, just don't be a dick and you'll be all right. But it's just it's a bully that has their own issues, but they don't know how to deal with. So they're trying to be this cool guy, but they're really insecure about it, if that makes sense. And it's that little difference between the only other Flash we've gotten, which was Joe Manganiello, who was a jock for being a jock's sake because jocks got a jock in high school.
There was a Flash in the Andrew Garfield movies.
Oh yeah, still jocks got a jock for high school.
No, I will say no. Flash had some depth to him. If you remember, I don't know how well you remember Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
But,
I mean, first half, yeah, it's like, yeah, your uncle died. It sucks. I get it. Feels good, right? I'm like, okay, so he's trying to be friendly. So there's that little, if you want to call this an arc from the 3 different variations, an evolution of Flash, if you will. That's cool. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I like how he went from jock for being an asshole jock, being an asshole jock's sake, to being the jock who's eventually starting to befriend Peter after punching his gut and, because he wouldn't take a picture of somebody, he was holding upside down, forcing to eat stuff. I'm like, that's weird. Can you say fetish? Sorry, did not want to go there. It just kind of came out. To this Flash, to where there's more substance, and I hate to say it this way, but there's more, substance over Flash, if that makes sense. And I don't mean the pun at all, but it's there. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing. Everything you've said, totally true, totally valid. I still don't like the character. I still, every time
I tried. I freaking tried. Okay.
I'm just like, because it's like, okay, his parents aren't talking to him and stuff. It's like, we have so many characters in this movie. Mm-hmm. I don't care about Flash at all. If Flash was the brat of this movie, I think I would have been like, okay, at least he had a purpose. But there was no reason except for plot. For he had to be live streaming so they could find him. But like,
yeah, that's fair.
There's no reason for Flash, and I'm annoyed every time. Just Flash sucks. I
got you.
Okay, you know what? Sorry. I did make a mistake. I do hate I do really dislike Malekith more than Flash.
Well, okay, I can at least drink to that, so that's fine.
But the fact that I'm putting Malekith and Flash in the same conversation should tell you how I feel about Flash.
I can tell by the context. You're fine.
I love that we're like, whatever, like 20 minutes into this Spider-Man Far From Home thing, and we've talked about 3 different things. None of them have involved Spider-Man.
Exactly.
They're all Peter, which is awesome. Right. I love it.
Yeah, because it's like most Spider-Man.
Also,
like, go ahead. Sorry.
And also, maybe that's because the first half of the movie, the Spider-Man stuff, is not very good.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that. I mean, sure, him being at this thing, because one thing I was kind of mad at, the scene that's always in the trailer where he's talking to the cops like, "You gonna be the new Iron Man now?" It's like, well, I can't do that. I'm too busy doing your job. That whole scene is gone. It's nowhere to be seen in this movie. I'm like, I wanted that scene because that scene would have been cool. But nope.
I don't even watch trailers, so I don't even know what you're talking about.
If you go and watch one of the trailers, I forget which one it is. They're always asking. It's like they're in like a restaurant. It's Spider-Man webbing up like all these different bad guys. Cops walk in and he goes, "So you can be the new Iron Man now?" Peter's like, "Well, I have no time doing that. I'm doing your job." All the cops are like, "Oh, I'm joking." But tell you what, keep it up the good work because I am going on vacation, and that's when the trailer would start. But I was like, that. I know, granted, it shouldn't have been relevant, but it would have been nice. It would have been something different. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, one thing I liked, they kept their theme of green villains. You didn't notice that till now, did you?
No, I didn't.
So, funny. If this next Spider-Man movie is going to be the last one, I'm going to make a pitch for 2 villains to be in there. One's kind of obvious.
Scorpion.
Well, that was going to be the one that wasn't going to be as obvious, but yeah, that was the second one. First one's going to be Green Goblin, so yeah. So, And have him be Flash's dad. What? No, that would be stupid. That's like having Vulture be Liz Allen's dad. Oh, wait. Awkward.
Well, I think it's a little bit different than that. But, well.
Yeah, I got you. But still, I mean, unless the kid, like, one of the kids gets introduced as like, oh, this is my son Harry. Oh, cool. We have no back history whatsoever, but I'm going to feel real bad that your dad's the Green Goblin. No. Anyway. So, getting to the Spider-Man bits on this. Pause. I liked what happened with him. I liked the fact that no one could tell that this wasn't real. Although it was, yet it wasn't, if you catch my drift. But there are subtle things that went unnoticed until I started listening to other reviews. And I was like, oh shit, right. Because remember that scene where Mysterio flew up to Peter and he was like, we know what the world wants, Peter, but what do you want? He's like, I want to go talk to the girl I like, and kiss her. Take her up to the most romantic place in the world, tell her how I feel, and kiss her. And Mysterio's like, whoa, dude. That whole thing? Wait, no. That was the bar. But the rooftop conversation between him and Peter, when they're both in costume, that conversation, they never touch. Because that is a hologram.
Oh man, that's yeah.
Yeah,
because he can't fly.
Yeah, right. Exactly, because he can't fly up, and he doesn't have the drones to camouflage themselves now. So I'm like, bro, I didn't think about that. I was just because that's how deep this illusion went for everyone in the theater, even me. Like I said, I called this from the beginning, but yet I was still hook, line, and sinker. All right.
Yeah. Wow, that's cool. Since we're on Mysterio, can we talk about Mysterio and Jake Gyllenhaal for a little bit?
Oh, sure.
So cool.
Yeah.
As soon as I wasn't buying him as fake, as like, I'm a hero Mysterio, but that's because I've read a comic before.
Or you've at least seen the Spider-Man the Animated Series, which I told you about.
Yeah.
That I told you that story before, and I was like, I'm not old. You're young.
So I'm watching the movie with my fiance and stuff, and she's like, and when the reveal happens, she's like, oh, because she doesn't read comics, so she was like, she was on board. And after the movie, she's like, I trusted him. I was like, Peter's doing a great thing here. Good for Peter. And I'm like, I was like the entire time, and I think that's why the Elementals didn't really do it for me, because if you know Mysterio, you're like, well, these aren't real.
Right. Now here's the funny thing, though. They called them Elementals in the movie, but you know what they were actually called? Two of them were called
Hydro Man, Molten Man.
Yep.
Oh my God, was the Earth one Sandman?
I hope not, but I didn't look. I'm gonna look that up now. Son of a bitch, you got me researching such now. But that's what the toys were called. Hydro Man and Molten Man. I'm like, but it's even funnier because if you paid attention when Flash was doing research over the Hydro Man thing, they actually referenced how Hydro Man got created, so he could actually be a thing later. But then again, MJ's like,
crazy.
Yeah, but it's like, and even MJ's like, dude, you can't believe everything you read on the internet. It's like, well, it's right here. I'm like, whatever.
That'd be crazy if that's how the next Spider-Man movie starts.
Oh, that'd be funny. It's
like Hydro Man attacking Spider-Man. He's like, Beck, stop it! I know this isn't real. Getting punches, like, okay, this might be real. Oh my God. Oh my God.
But it's even funnier. It's like, okay, Beck, give it up. Hydro Man just looks at him. Who's Beck? Oh, fuck. Kind of like a who the hell's Bucky kind of moment.
Sorry.
Kind of like a who the hell's Bucky kind of moment. We're like, oh, fuck, you're screwed. Oh my God.
You want to know something interesting about Beck and stuff actually in the movie that I didn't realize until I was talking about it with a friend later.
Mm-hmm.
So when they first meet and Spider-Man's like, Mysterio, and he's like, you call me Quentin. Spider-Man calls him Beck for the rest of the movie. A buddy of mine pointed that out to me, and I was like, oh my God, he does!
Peter's such an asshole.
He's like, call me Quentin. Beck.
Maybe he's completing his name. I don't know. It's like Quentin. Beck. Anyway.
But I just find I just found that funny. And then I was just playing it through, and it's like when they're on the bridge, he's like, "It's over, Beck," and I'm like he asked you to call him Quentin, man. Come on.
But it's even funnier because it was like they're in the cave in Prague or whatever, or cave or whatever it is in Prague. You're like, okay, me and Beck, Mysterio. Me and Mysterio. I'm like, all right. So like, okay, he's digging this. Cool. And then it's all lies. It's like, but my favorite part though is like, let's go get a drink. It's like, but I'm not 21. Let's get a drink. But I'm not 21. Peter, Peter, you dumb shit. It's 18 to drink over there.
I thought Jake Gyllenhaal though just crushed it as Mysterio.
Yeah.
I was like, for people who, I feel like if I did not know that Mysterio was a bad guy, I would have been like, I would like to be your friend.
Yeah.
Quentin Beck. Yes. Go save the world. And then when the turn happens, and like he's got that moment where he commands all the drones and it's pointing at all his like underlings, and it's like, Peter Parker's death is on your hands. This is you.
Yep.
He's just getting so intense about it, and I'm just like, I'm not scared.
But you know what my favorite part was? Gosh. What a couple of my favorite parts were? You ready for this?
Okay.
Happy was one of my favorite parts of this movie. From the
Happy's great.
Yeah, from one of the opening scenes at the charity tour, it's like, we kind of misplaced this thing, and we're kind of, it's big, not the amount, although I mean the amount's big, but the check itself is kind of huge. It's like, is that your dress? She goes, yes. I was like, Peter's just looking back like, what the is happening right now? So that whole arc going back and forth, he goes. Even that one beat, I love how that one beat where he's like in the Netherlands. He goes, Happy, how do I tell me something only you know? It's like, okay, we were in Germany and you didn't know how you purchased that adult movie, but you didn't know how I knew. It's like, okay,
I can tell by the price.
It's like, okay, that's enough. But yeah, then Happy just has that almost dad-like moment where he turns around, he sees I was about to say Tony. Peter with that arm thing, just like Tony did. He spun around. He's like, dude. You could tell if it called for it, he could have squeaked out a tear. And I was like, dude.
Yeah.
And it was like...
I love Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's like, you know what? You handle the suit, I'll handle the tunes. Flips on Back in Black. He's like, oh, I love Led Zeppelin. I'm like, I want to hit you, but you're too adorable. Because that's like one of my go-to songs whenever I'm like driving down the road. It sounds like, Back in Black. I'm like, yeah. You know what the funny thing is? I want to roll up because, to be honest with you, I'm going to be completely honest here. I would love, for when I get a car, to be blasting that when I roll up to church. That would be hilarious.
Be funny.
I'd be like, sup? Anyway, enough of that. But, yeah. But then at the end, like towards the end, like the last two scenes with Happy, it goes, I might be in love with Spider-Man's aunt. Everyone just looks at him like, what? We're sharing. We're going closer. We're bonding. It's like, that's not how this works. For them, maybe not you freak. And then that end scene is just like, okay, I'm tired of all the deception. I'm tired of all the lies. Let's get this out in the open now. Are you dating my aunt? They both go, yes, no. It's like, wait, what? It's like summer fling. I'm like, but it's like, he goes, okay, you guys have some sort of stuff to sort out. I'm going this way. But the one thing that really made me laugh was Happy's coded message, which was, hey Fury, you this is Happy. It's like, why the hell are you on my damn phone? It's like, I wanted to call and tell you that you left your surfboard when you were gathering your stuff out of here. It's like, surfboard, what the hell? Like, yeah, I was trying to tell him. It's like, yeah, Nick Fury left his surfboard. He goes, what do you? It's like, what? He looks like he's talking like nonsense. Then he's like, yeah, well, they say, Fury doesn't look like he's a surfer. It's like, well, appearances can be deceiving. It's like, he just clicks off. Then he just looks back at Hill, and he's like, okay. Like, starting to know something's up. And then it's like, when Beck gets fed the line, it's like the elementals, they've somehow created something bigger and they're drawing power from the Earth's core. I love how Fear just turns around, looks at him, Hill just goes, "That's bullshit." So it's just like, I don't know. It's awesome.
Oh, how good was the first nightmare sequence with Mysterio?
God, yes. But the fact but it wasn't so much the nightmare. Sorry, it wasn't so much the nightmare sequence. It was the consequences and what happened at the end of it. I was like, dude, this is creepy. Because he goes to punch Mysterio, he hits a brick friggin' pillar. I'm like, ooh, I can see how that would hurt. He goes to web him, pulls down a crane, and then he keeps backing up and backing up and backing up until he gets hit by a train. I'm like, what the fuck is this, dude? So I
love that Mysterio puts down the illusion just before Peter gets hit by the train.
Oh, yeah.
Just because, and that's, it's like, oh my God.
It's like, yeah. I was like, dude.
And with the Inception, illusion inside an illusion, it's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
And they got me. I was like, oh my God, well, they got Mysterio. What's the rest of this movie?
Right? It's like, okay, movie over. It's like the beginning of Endgame. Like, Thanos gets his head chopped off. Movie over? I guess. Maybe. Do we cut to another 5 years down the future and Peter's 20 and he's out of high school? He's going to fucking college like a normal person? Like, what are we doing here? Yeah. But yeah, that was good. It's
that nightmare scene I would put up against the final war in Endgame, the Winter Soldier elevator fight scene. I'd put that nightmare scene in there as if I was to talk about the best moment in the MCU.
Nice.
So good.
I mean, I thought your top moment in the MCU was Tony Stark built this in a cave with a bunch of scraps.
That's my favorite line. Oh, you want me to do my top lines? I got that. I got piss off Ghost. Oh man,
piss off Ghost.
I could do lines all day.
Nice. Fair enough. I just thought that'd be one of your favorite moments. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. Okay, this is one of my favorite extended sequences.
There you go. Oh my gosh. Sorry, that was funny. That was too funny not to pass up. I'm sorry. But yeah. But Mysterio was just awesome. That whole thing. Man.
Can we talk about the elementals?
No.
And no? Okay, cool. Not moving right along.
Kidding. I'm kidding.
Question.
We can't talk about what doesn't exist. That's my thing.
Oh. No,
I got you there, didn't I?
Do you like it? I was like, okay, we're moving on. That's fine. I didn't like the elementals.
Yeah.
At all. And I was just like, I'm bored of this. And part of it, this is fake. No. But also, I feel like even if they were real, they're just...
Yeah.
They just weren't interesting.
Now, that's another thing.
Especially...
You brought up the fact... Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. But this kind of bugged me. As soon as I saw it, and I just remembered it, thanks to you saying if they were real. I was like, right. Because I had this thought. I was like, if this was a real threat, merely separating... I'll call it Hydro Man, for lack of a better term, or the water elemental, but Hydro Man, on land should not stop it from reforming and still kicking your ass. Am I wrong?
I'm not a scientist, but I would assume that his cells would just reform together.
No,
on the water.
But that's the thing, though. It's like, this is an elemental. It's not a person. It's water itself. You have water on the ground. It's still water. It will still reform. There'll be less of it, but it will still reform. Just ripping it in half like a piece of paper shouldn't stop it.
Yeah, it was it was ridiculous. And then,
which if you
Molten Man,
yeah, it's like, oh, we got
Molten Man. I was just
yeah, I was like, Molten Rock lava, magma. So you're throwing concrete at it. That makes sense.
And this is working somehow.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. If you give it, it's like, let's give it something it can't absorb, like water. Did no one?
Yeah, like, and in this illusion, but to Peter it's real.
Yeah.
When he's being Night Monkey.
No,
It's
that.
all real.
I almost forgot about Night Monkey. Oh man.
Oh, you can't forget Night Monkey.
Of course not. It's a
in
night
that
spider
whole
monkey.
thing,
It's like
Mysterio has been shown to pretty much be able to like move things with this green smoke, and he's like, "All right, whatever we do, we can't let it touch the ground and take power from the earth."
no.
My first thing is either.
But the thing was, it couldn't absorb the thing was, it couldn't absorb the Ferris wheel. Get to a critical mass to where it can start absorbing things from the earth. Start absorbing energy from the Earth's core, because that's always a good idea.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of that, I was looking for like the projector. I was like, how is this fake? How is this fake? I'm looking for it, and I was.
This is gonna bother me.
And that is the projector gets pulled off, but
yeah, this is the funny thing. You're gonna hate me for this too. I just started looking at the screen for RCP at the movies. Complete side tangent. I misspelled movies. And it's been that way for almost a good 45 minutes. It's been Moives. I was like, that doesn't look right. I was like, so close. Let me just go ahead and
we're
fix
here to
it.
talk about movies, not spell.
Damn it, man. I'm a doctor, not an English teacher. I'm a movie reviewer, not an English teacher. Anyway, get back to that. And okay. There we are. Fixed. Okay, now my OCD can go back to sleep. Sorry. And I'm sure a lot of people are like, thank God it got fixed. Thing's almost over, but... Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
So, what was your opinion on the Peter Tingle and it not working and being called the Peter Tingle?
Okay, I liked the fact they didn't call it a spider sense, because not that it's played out, but it's like they're poking fun at it, because we as an audience should know what it is. This being the 20th Spider-Man movie in like 7 years. Okay, let me put an asterisk on this. I know it's not the 20th. I'm making a joke because this is the third time this has been rebooted. If you have a problem with my numbers, get over yourself. Anyway, back to the review. Sorry. We should know what the Spidey sense is. Even if you're not a comic book fan, you've at least watched a cartoon with Spider-Man in it, and they've gone, Spider Sense. You know, it's obvious. So calling it the Peter Tingle...
Or someone has said Spider Sense.
Right. Or made some kind of joke of Spider Sense, but we know what it is. We know where it started. So that's fine. I don't mind. I don't really care, but it works, you know? Going up that, though. Don't know. It's not something...
Because I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a nice little in-joke, because even May... here's the thing. If I were to ever call my aunt, like, Susan, instead of Aunt Susan, I'd get slapped. So the fact he just casually calls her May, I'm like, do they have that good of a relationship? What is that like? Am I missing something here? That's one of the first things my mind went to. So, I don't know how you felt about that. You know?
I call all my aunts and uncles just by their first name. I don't give them a title, so it made no difference to me.
Okay, because maybe that's just a New Jersey colloquialism that I grew up with. Because like, you tell them, you call them your aunt, your uncle, your this, your that. I'm like, but I already know what it is. So I'm like, but because
there's just so many extra words. I don't care.
Yeah, it's just weird. Anyway, sorry. I thought it was just a me thing, so I figured I thought it out there. But it's like, you can dodge bullets, but you can't dodge bananas. I'm like, oh god. And the fact she's talking about dodging bananas while she's talking about his Peter Tingle, I'm like, okay, this is just getting weird.
So funny. That was great. I loved that.
I did too, and I do, but I just like putting it in that context. I don't know if that shows where my mind goes or if that's how it was intended, but I was like, whatever.
Oh, that's how it was intended.
Okay, good.
That's how it was intended.
I hope so, otherwise I look like a real weirdo on the internet. Then again, there's a million of us, so welcome to the club. Anyway. But yeah, that was fun. So, I loved what happened. I loved how this movie ended. Because the whole suit thing, the suit building was just amazing to me. And then that final fight, I loved between Mysterio and whatever. Because there was a line in there I loved. And there were two lines that Mysterio had that proved to be a solid point for the ending and the mid-credit scene of the movie. Or should I say the mid-credit scene is the ending of the movie. Or should I say the epilogue had an epilogue? What? Sorry. But it was like, they will see what I want them to see, was the first line, and then people are so desperate to believe in something, they'll believe in anything. Those two lines, coupled with what happened in the mid-credit scene, gosh, that was just mind-blowing. You know?
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That last fight was great.
Yeah.
What do you think of the new suit, by the way?
I like the new suit. Because we know that the red and blue is very traditional. It's very... You oofed. I take it you don't like the suit.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Oh, God.
I think it looks awful.
Okay.
I'll take nothing over that suit.
So you would rather have the PS4 Spider-Man just running around in his boxers and a mask over that suit?
I would have jumped out of this. If he had made the PS4 white spider suit, I would have jumped out of my chair.
Hold on. You say that. But when he was bringing up all the files for Spider-Man, that suit was there.
See, I saw that, and then I was thinking, is that just the Iron Spider? Because it also has that giant spider suit. It also has that giant spider on the chest.
I know, but no. That was specifically the PS4 Spider-Man suit, because I've been able to pick that out of like Spider-Verse and this movie, because I want to play that game so freaking bad, and B, because I haven't played it yet on the PS4, and B, that's one of the newer suits that everyone's like, oh my gosh, this suit's amazing, whatever. And it's just a little Easter egg in there. So I was like, okay, cool. They pulled nothing from the suit, but it works. It's fine. I don't really mind. But it's not like going...
Look at the big spider.
Okay. Now here's the thing, though. I will say this. When it comes to the suit, I am happy they did not go from like... And this is just my example, because this example pissed me off to no end. They went from, it's like, The Amazing Spider-Man went from the first suit to where you can tell he made it himself to the new suit in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. We had the big white eyes and the standard suit. I'm like, we didn't need this. We did not need this at all. This was stupid.
Oh.
I liked the Amazing Spider-Man suit from the first movie. I liked that one. I was like, that pissed me off. It's like they're trying to go for like a more comic version. I'm like, that's what Sam Raimi did in the third movie. Sucked.
Oh man, Amazing Spider-Man 2 that's my favorite Spider-Man suit. Least favorite Spider-Man movie. That's my favorite suit.
Let's be honest here. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the Batman and Robin of the Spider-Man franchise.
Well, no, because it's got the best suit in it. So,
Yeah, and Batman and Robin had the best Robin suit in it.
Nipples?
No, Nightwing with a cape.
That was cool. That was pretty cool.
Gotcha. Anyway, so yeah, that was.
You want to talk with the end credits?
Yeah, I guess we can get there. I mean, we talked about pretty much everything else.
Yeah.
How did you feel about our boy coming back?
You remember when I said there were 2 moments in the theater where I interacted with
this
people
was the
next to me
second, and I
in just
figured it
terrible-
was.
So when they're like the day when they first come on, they're like, "We got a breaking report from this journalism thing, the dailybugle.net." I'm like, "Oh, that's nice." And
That's
then
neat.
J.K. Simmons, goddamn J.K. Simmons comes on.
J.K.
I
motherfucking Simmons. I got you.
I just like fully extend my arms, one hand on like my seat rests, the other on my fiance's shoulder, and I'm just like, oh my god. I was so excited, and I'm like under my breath. I'm like, oh my god, thank God. And then he's just doing perfect. He's like, he's a menace. Yeah. And I'm just like, after the movie, I turned and said out loud, "You could have told me Thor was fat. You could have told me Tony Stark dies. You could have told me anything about any movie ever. This is the only spoiler I am glad I avoided ever."
Yeah.
I was so happy.
Yep.
And I love that identities out there. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. I'm like, how are they going to put this genie back in the bottle? Like, well, you got Skrulls, you got Talos, and I'm like, that'd be kind of weird. It's like, hey, Talos, could you be me? He's like, I kind of need to be someone taller. It's like, that's bullshit. You're a shape shifter. Shift your shape to my height, fucker. We screwed this up to begin with. Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a spoiler review, so fuck it.
I love that. Yeah. So what did you think about JK?
I had a nearly similar reaction. I was in like the middle seat of the middle row. As soon as I saw JK, I put my hands into fists and put them both in the air. I was like, yes! Yes! He's back! Because I think it was even through like Spectacular Spider-Man, the cartoon, and the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, he was still J.K. Simmons was still J. Jonah Jameson. And I was like, yay! But that's still cool, though.
Yeah. It was so great. Like, I almost didn't hear anything else. Yeah. I wasn't listening. I was just like, J.K. Simmons. And then Mysterio pops on screen. I'm like, oh.
What's this? It's like, I may not make it off this bridge alive. Spider-Man attacked me for some reason. He has an army of drones, Stark technology. He said he's going to be the next Iron Man. No one else. And it's like, and by the way, it's like, and that's not all, folks. We have this shocking piece of revelation, this shocking revelation, part of this story video thing, whatever. It's like, Spider-Man's name is Peter Parker, and that has a picture of him. I'm like, oh, you bitch. And even Parker's like, what the fuck? Credits.
Yeah.
I love they kept that.
So, is he still alive? Because he had to shoot that after, right?
Now, here's the thing, though. This is the monkey's paw of how Peter's been using Edith. Which I still love the acronym, even in death I'm the hero. I love that. That was so smart. He's like, yeah, that would be him.
What a douchey thing.
I was like, well, it's a Stark thing to do. Whatever. And, yeah. But, so there's that. But then there's just the other part of that, where he asks Edith at the end, is this real? He doesn't ask Edith, is he dead? He just asks, is this real? It's like, yes, Peter. It's like, yes, Peter. All of, I think he even calls the thing back, all of Quentin Beck's or all of Mysterio's illusions have ceased. And I'm like, not exactly answering the question, but alright. So he could have been faking it the entire time. Wait, how did he die anyway?
He got shot by one of the drones.
Oh.
Well, but here's the thing. It's unclear because when Spider-Man takes that one down, it's an illusion, and then he pops out with the gun to try and shoot him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, But so did he ever get shot?
Yeah, that was the thing. I'm like, what the hell? That's the question I like. Now,
I would love for him not to be dead.
oh yeah, of course. But that would make two villains that know Spider-Man's identity. I'm like, I'm not sure how I feel about that at all.
Well, if you want, I can give a quick little pitch and stuff about what I would like to see in Spider-Man 3. It involved now everyone knows his identity now.
Yeah, we can save that for the writer's room when we go over the MCU. We can go from there. So kind of write that idea down, but still shoot it to me so I can kind of work it in there somehow.
Sounds good.
Okay. But yeah, now let's talk about that end credits scene. Holy crap. Bruh.
Is that sword?
I don't imagine it being anything else. Because the fact Talos was like, yeah, we gave him the glasses. It was very touching, very touching. And his wife was like, Talos, things went a little off the rails, and we need to come back because people ask like, where are the Avengers? Where are the Avengers? I don't have an answer to that. I mean, you're sitting there on the beach, and they click. I'm like, it's all right. I'm thinking, okay, he's on the beach. He's like, what, in Tahiti? No, he's in space, you moron. By the way, the fact I said...
Where are my shoes?
Where are my shoes? Say, all right, people, back to work. Takes a few more steps. Where are my shoes? But, do you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at all?
Not much. No.
Okay. Do you remember what Tahiti was?
That was where Coulson thought he was, but then that was all fake memories because they brought him back to life with Kree blood?
Yes. That's exactly what it was.
Okay.
So what ended up happening, and here's the thing I kind of found weird about it. If you remember, there was a Kree, we're going to go into that a whole other time, and we're going to talk about that in another episode of another thing. But long story short, I think I remember watching in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. they said Krees are naturally blue, so they had to keep taking in not nitroglycerin, that's explosive. Nitro something.
Oxide?
The freezy stuff, yeah.
Oh, so whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not a scientist.
Yeah, neither am I. We're not scientists, we're movie reviewers. Anyway. So it's so we kept refilling on that stuff. It's going to bug me because I got to know this. It's not nitro. What is it, though? Shoot. Anyway. So, the fact that Yangrog wasn't blue, and the fact they weren't always on this cold planet or whatever, kind of made me mad. Liquid nitrogen. That's what it was. Liquid nitrogen.
Ah.
Took me a second. Sorry. But yeah. So, that was that. Either that or it was a frost giant. I don't remember. But either way, I was like, that's a little weird. Even in the show, they were still blue. And I was like, that's really weird. But yeah. But the fact that they are Skrulls, I'm like, are they planting seeds for a secret invasion right now? That would be awesome. But yeah. So, I think that would about wrap this up then, wouldn't it?
I think so, unless there's something we missed. Oh, I will say I loved Mysterio's fishbowl.
Oh,
I love that they gave him the fishbowl.
Yeah.
That was that's awesome.
And it was a protective helmet thing, not just I have fishbowl. I am a fishbowl. You are a human, but I am a fishbowl. That's weird. I loved that one part they turned
in the last year.
Yeah, I love they turned that fishbowl into a snow globe in one of the nightmare things. That was amazing.
Oh, that was so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, but beyond that, I think we're good. I think we got it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good review. Good for us.
Good. Yeah, good for us. Only took us about an hour. I'm going to leave. Here's the thing. I'm going to leave that whole first part in. I'm not going to clip it or nothing. I'm just going to leave it in there and be like, okay. And we're doing this now. So that'll be funny. So that is it for us, guys. You know where to find me across all social media at The Ryan Cross Project or on Twitter at The Ryan C Project, because Twitter wants to be stingy with their letters. Fuck you. And Dave, I was about to say Dan for the third time this episode of this thing. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram if you don't care about any meaningful posts at Baby James or Baby J Lees, and you can find me on my newly made Twitter. That's the word I was looking for. On Leaves Me Alone.
I still find that funny, although I still think you should at least make your name Dan Lees Me Alone, which would have been funny.
That makes it sound like I want Dan to leave me alone. I want everyone to leave me alone.
Anyway, so that is it for us, guys. We will catch you guys in the movies. Peace.